You know, I had to go to Social Security office this week.
Really?
Yeah. Waited in line and finally got up to the counter and realized I forgot my ID card. So I told the lady, I said, well, I guess I'll have to go home and get it and I'll be back. She said, hang on, just take your shirt off for me a minute. And I thought that was kind of strange, but when you get to be my age and a woman tells you to take your clothes off, you don't ask questions.
Well, that makes sense.
Well, then she said that all that white hair I had on my chest was all the proof she needed to know I was old enough for Social Security.
Well, that was nice of her.
Yeah, I thought so. I went home and told my wife, and she said I should have taken my trousers off. I could have gotten disability.
Well, that's just cold.
Yeah.
You know, I was explaining to my 5-year-old nephew that it's okay to poop your pants. Ain't nothing to be ashamed of. He kept laughing at me anyway, though.
Well, you know how people take all kinds of stuff to keep themselves regular?
Well, yeah.
Well, I don't have that problem. About 6 o'clock every morning, I empty my bladder. And then about 7 o'clock, I have a nice big bowel movement.
Well, that sounds good.
Well, you would think so. Problem is, I don't wake up until 8.
Well, that ain't good at all. Our local parks and recs are busy installing a bunch of urinals. They said it's their #1 priority.
Oh, that was bad. I went into a gas station today and asked for $5 in gas. The clerk farted and gave me a receipt.
Do you know why air is no longer free at a gas station?
Oh, no.
Apparently it has something to do with inflation.
A grasshopper goes into a bar and orders a beer. Bartender says, you know, we have a drink named after you. Grasshopper says, really? You got a drink named Steve?
Our pastor was saying you can't find happiness in the bottom of a beer bottle. I said, amen, brother. Ain't nobody happy with an empty beer bottle.
I saw a guy get hit by a car. I called 911. They said, okay, where are you? We'll send an ambulance. I said, I'm on Eucalyptus Street. They said, okay, sir, can you spell that? I said, hang on, I'm going to drag him over to Pine Street and I'll call you right back.
I guess that's it for us.
Yeah, probably.
Well, folks, we'll be back next week with more
terribly bad jokes.